Hi, my name is Ted, and I'm a recovering writer. I have written for NPR and for the Chronicle. I took a year off and wrote a book, and it was hard and it was awful. And I became a literary agent almost 20 years ago, which is a much better place to be for me. I'm going to tell you, though, for any of you who are interested, what you should do if you want to publish a book. I am here to talk you out of it because it is hard, it is unlikely, it is an emotionally draining experience with a tiny chance of success. So I will succeed tonight if you leave and say, great idea, I'm not going to do it. It can be done, though. I have a number of clients who've had great success, New York Times, Washington Post, international bestsellers. They've done a lot of things right. And so what I'm going to do tonight is show you a little bit about what they've done right, what you could do right, and then still try to talk you out of it before you leave. So there are really only two people that count, and that is, of course, the author and the reader. In the traditional industry, there are a number of us that come in between, from the agent to the editor to folks within the publishing house and so on. But the important relationship is between the author and the reader. So it's three principles. All publishing is self-publishing. I don't care which venue you're using, which technique you're using. This is your project. No one is going to care about it as much as you do. So think like a self-publisher at all times. Second principle, we often get people who come to us and say, hey, get me a book deal and I'll become famous. And the answer is, no, get famous first and then I'll get you a good book deal. So it used to be, hey, it's nice to see you again, Oprah. Whatever the technique is, get famous first. The last element is that you are CEO of your own multimedia empire. A book should be the culmination of lots of different things all strung together. And whether you're self-publishing or working with a publisher, we all work for you. So think of yourself like a CEO. I'm going to mispronounce this word. It's Japanese, tsundoku, I think. And it's the word for the pile of books that we all have that is this high that we're never going to get to. So if you're going to write a book, understand that first of all, you have to get to the top of that pile, and then you've got to persuade people to open your book and read it. So know yourself. First of all, are you writing fiction, nonfiction? Are you writing a memoir? Are you writing a work of art in any genre? Or is this something that really is a talking tool for you? A client of mine calls it the 1-pound business card. Whatever you want to do, understand yourself. If you're going to pursue it, book proposal is how you sell nonfiction, and that is really just a business plan. Here in Silicon Valley, everybody understands the VC deck. This is the book publishing version of that. You start with the substance, which is a very detailed table of contents, laying out chapter by chapter what's your narrative arc, what is the summary of the full book, what is the story you're going to tell, 3 to 10 pages, lay it all out, prove that you've thought it through. You may not have written the book yet, but you really know where you want to go if a publisher gives you the money and the time. Then you need a detailed sample chapter, and that is where you show that you actually can deliver on the writing. A body chapter. Hey, this is it. 20 pages, 40 pages, whatever it is, here is the beta test for my book. And that's how you ask a publisher for money. Then you need the sizzle. First of all, as I said earlier, you need to know who your readers are. Who are the target readers? Demographics, psychographics, whoever they are, you need to understand who you're writing for. Easy writing makes for hard reading. No, these are the folks I want to write for. This is what I'm putting together. And then who are you? You're already a celebrity, so talk about it. Explain why you are the best, only person to write this book. Excuse me. What makes you special? You are the person. People are going to say, oh, I got to get the book by that person. Comparable titles, and I say comparable, not competitive titles, because you're proving a case. Hey, there are books in this category, and that category, and that category. Together, it proves a lot of readers. Only mine is at the unique intersection of those categories. And then, of course, you need a very detailed, very sharp marketing and publicity plan. And that's where, if you had no publisher at all, if you were doing it yourself, you'd still need a plan. Don't ask your family to support you. Don't spend any of your money or work with a publisher until you know how you're going to sell what is essentially a product. In fiction and memoir, it's a little bit different. Nobody believes you're actually going to finish the book, so you got to get it done. Full manuscript, and it's very important. Get in a writing group. By giving advice as well as getting advice, your writing is going to get better, and you become part of a community that's going to help you sell that book when the time comes. More options than ever before. Commercial presses, obviously. Academic presses are doing great publishing these days, and now, of course, direct publishing is a new model that's available for print on demand for paper as well as for ebooks. George Orwell had it right. It's a horrible, exhausting struggle. I learned my lesson. I'm hoping I've talked you all out of it here. If you're going to do this, you're going to need calluses on your forehead. You're going to need a big support structure. You got to get serious about it. Also, treat this with professionalism. A ton of resources are available. I put a page up on my agency's website which has these links and many more. If you are going to write a book, take it seriously and write something that everybody in this room is going to want to read. Thanks very much.